Greetings, everyone. Rev.Hawksblood here, calling from the big island of Hawaii. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be about the truth, which I always talk about, try to talk about, keep it in the main topic, no matter what I'm talking about, but related to the truth. And you'll say, whose truth? It's always your truth, my truth, or God's truth. I try to keep it relating to God's truth, not anybody else's. All right, now, how can I do that? I base it on all my actual experiences that I had and things I went through in this life, in this physical life, out of body, in my past lives. So I feel it's pretty well accurate to almost everything that I say. I mean, some things I can't say because wasn't there or didn't see it, didn't do it. But I will talk about everything I have done and have been involved with or next to at some level, some way. It's going to be a little bit deep. So it's going to be not what you want to hear. It usually never is. People don't like the truth because it bothers them because it's not what they want to hear. You want to hear all these good things, love and light, everything's the answer for everything, and all those kind of make-believe stories. Go right ahead. Live in fairy tale land. I'm going to get down and dirty, real dirty. Are you ready for the truth? All right. No more lies. Please, I'm not going to give you any. Let's start with the most important, simple question or phrase that you might ever hear. And you'll be told it by your family, priests, ministers, your company. You are important. Now, did you hear that? You are important. To who? Think about it. Who are you important to? You're sure not important to planet Earth. You may think you are. How many people even know what's really happening to the Earth right now and why? Okay. Now, the amount of homeless, starving people, abused people on this planet. Do you have a clue to how big the number is? It's like 90% more than the middle class and what's going on with those kind of people. So let's go deeper. Okay. When we talk about starving people, the abused children, do people care about them? So when you say you're the most important person, you're important. To who? To all the starving children around the planet, all the abused children around the planet, all the abused women around the planet, and then, sure, the abused men as well. Are you important to them? Then let's take that a little bit further. What do you think God thinks about what you do in life? Or you have children, you have a house, you have a car, you have a job. What are you doing? Well, are you here to save the world? You may think so. And it's a great program that people have accepted, which has not been happening. We're going to get into that in detail as we move along. But the serious problem behind all that, people becoming more delusional than spiritual. And in that, by saying man is becoming like God is only a person's ego talking to themselves. It's the ego coming out and sprouting fangs and claws, whatever. To think you're important to society, to the world, to aliens, to everything. Are you really important? We're going to get into why aliens would even come here. But let's stick with the foundation of the physical world first. Science thinks they're important to themselves, and they want us to believe they're so important to mankind. Well, knowing more about things doesn't make anything better. Does it make anything better? Well, I know how a tomato grows. I know what vitamins are in it. But does it change it? No, but scientists will try to change it. Make it more delicious, make it more vitamins, but they can't put more vitamins in the things that are losing vitamins. Every vegetable and fruit you ate 25 to 50 years ago had 25 to 50% more vitamins in it than it does now. I'm not going to go into that in detail, but think about it. The water is contaminated everywhere on the planet to different levels. Inside the United States, every lake is contaminated to a certain degree. Some are extreme. They give a fish chart. How many months or weeks that you have to wait before you can eat another fish out of the lake. That's how dangerous it is. So, okay, why the weather's changing. Trump says there's no such thing as weather change. It's not real and all this. He's going to change his mind once he sees what happens in the next year. But, the idea that we're responsible, oh, it's not nature, Mother Nature's doing all this stuff. No, it's not. We're so far out of Mother Nature is in the background. But what we do to Mother Nature is 10 times worse. If we destroy all the trees, guess what? Nature goes out of balance. We destroy all the animals. Nature goes out of balance. Every creature we destroy puts other creatures out of balance, and that throws the world out of balance. The fishing industry put the world out of balance. Everything that man does puts the world out of balance, not in balance. Oh, well, this is a balanced world. No, it's not. Not at any level. The only thing that's important on this planet to 99% of the people is money. If they have it, or even if they don't have it. Love has taken a back seat. All you people that think love's the answer, the fairy tale dreamers, loving like being, smiling and waving your hands around, hugging everybody, kissing everybody. Is it helping the world at any level? Does it help the senior citizens? Does it help the young children that are being abused? I doubt it. While you sit back and smile, oh, it's a beautiful world, isn't it? Well, you could look at a tree, look at the ocean and see how beautiful it is. But are you looking beyond that, inside the ocean? What's going on inside it? What's happening to it? Do you care? The truth is, mankind has lost morals. Morals are what's trying to keep us in a balanced state. I'm going to get into some really ridiculous ideas to prove what's happening to the world. I know you're not going to like how I'm going to say it, but I will get into a couple of little things like right away. All right, I'm going to get into it. Here's something really bizarre, which I just came up with. All right, let me get rid of this stuff I can't see. All right, the whole idea of sports. I'm not going to get everybody calling me. It always happens when I go online. Why is that? I wish I could shut them all down. All right, the whole idea of sports. It's worldwide. I mean, poor people into sports as well as rich people. All right. Everything in sports is about money. I mean, you join sports because you like sports, but you like to make money. When you're not getting paid, it's only a college thing or whatever, a fun thing when you do when you're outside in the yard. All right. Let's talk about what you do in sports. Almost, I'd say 80% of the sports out there, you are having fun, supposedly. Football is not fun. Baseball is not fun, especially when you strike out or get hit with a ball or hurt somebody or you're losing, all those things. It's not a fun thing. It's a money thing. And it's about power. Now, this is going to be extract. I'm just going to say it just one time because it just came to me. It's going to sound twisted, but I want you to really follow through. And this is going back from the beginning of time to now. I'm talking thousands and thousands of years ago. Men get paid to beat up men. That's barbaric. I just watched a champion kickboxer fight this guy that I don't even think he hit him once. Bleeding all over. They kept the first round going. They burned back on the second round. Still bleeding all over the place. They finally stopped it, I think an hour and 20 minutes into the fight. But there was no contest. It should have never went. It should have never been a match. Well, I'm sure he got paid to be beat up. And sure, it was in Malaysia or whatever country where he's from. And sure, they don't care what he does to the other person as long as he wins. Barbaric. I wonder how far they would let it go in the United States if they had it going on. All right, here's the thing. Most sports, baseball, football, hockey, ping pong, tennis, volleyball, all play with balls. Think about it. Balls, small ones, big ones, little ones, heavy ones, light ones. What's that? What's the pleasure of playing with balls? Think about it. Rich men play hockey. Golf. Hit little balls in little holes. Does that sound like some kind of fetish? It sure is. And I think it carries through And I hate to say this, through the gay movement. Why a man would rather play with a guy than a woman. Uh, see, people don't want to deal with any aspect. You be what you want, do what you want. That's your choice. You're in hell. You can do whatever you want. When you decide to get out of it, you might think a little bit different. Men never put women first. Never. Never through history did they. And they're not going to start now. Defend men over women? Always. Why is that? In the criminal justice system, they will tear a woman apart to make the guy innocent. Why is that? Instead of tearing a guy apart because he's guilty, I'm bad. If it's a man and a woman in a rape case or abuse case, the man's guilty. Sure, women get angry and frustrated, but it's usually being pushed into that space in the first place. The worst crime is usually lowered in the court of law when it comes to a man. Rape charges have dropped from 12 years to the average to 6 years, if they even get that. I'm doing a book on rape. It'll be out soon. I'm getting involved with I have a petition out there. I'm getting involved with people that in the industry that are rich and famous that might be able to help get some publicity to get some other people involved. Women have to get involved at every level. But that's a whole separate thing. I'll be doing that probably in a couple of days or a week or so. But the games people create, paintball guns, shooting balls at people, does that sound like something weird or not? It's pathetic where man goes for his entertainment. So we can go into the whole sex thing as well, which I'll do later. But it's a perversion. It's twisted. Imagine taking your kids out, your children, to a museum, even to the movies. Get out ice, then go for ice cream. Go to a theater. Go to something entertaining, and then take them somewhere. Even just take them for a ride up in the mountains and go outside and breathe some fresh air if you can. All other things that you should be with your children, you put it to watching somebody getting paid millions of dollars. You think they care what you do? You're paying their salary. You're paying for them to live like a hog. In all the sports. Look at the famous golfer, where he ended up, what he was doing and stuff. Even them, they have a beautiful family making tons of money, and they still have to be idiots and fools. Why is that? Morals are gone. Let's talk about even bowling. Take this super big heavy ball and knock down a couple little wood pins. And that's exciting? Why knock them all down? Really? Did that save the day, save the planet? Did it help children? Did it help anything? Does it help the food that you eat? You know, our morals are gone. We base our attention on, I call cheap thrills. All right. Anything gives you a rush of energy through your body or your mind. And they could both go together or one or the other. Drugs work either way as well. Drinking works either way as well. And I don't even talk about that. That's the most disastrous thing that happened to this planet. Marijuana was always legal, and then they made it illegal to make liquor legal, which destroys and kills and makes more people sick than anything else on this planet, except the new diseases the government are creating. All right, let's go a little deeper. Computer games are defeating their children. What do you think children are learning? Anything important? Saving the world? See, we teach people how to fight. Not martial arts. I'm talking about like a game like chess. These brain people have to figure out how to move a plastic horse and a plastic knight around on a little board. Does it save mankind? Does it save people in the battlefield? Castling and things. Can they do that in the army? Of course not. Can a horse take out a knight and all these little things? It's a ridiculous combination of ideas. Checkers. Back and forth, jump, 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 and that's all it is. Entertainment? I never could play games all my life. I mean, I would rather be outside running around and doing things. And I mean, I had problems because of doing that, because of the ignorant people out there in that world as well. That's going to be part of my book in the rape system and what's going down in that realm right now. And it's the worst it has ever been. The worst it has ever been. All you new love and light people. Are you looking into the future? Do you even care about what is happening in the future? Every New Age speaker, spiritualist, religionist, all talk about living in the moment. The moment is we're in hell right now. Do we want to stay in it? How about let's get out of it? Now is an important word. Now, not tomorrow. And prayer. Well, prayer. Everybody sit down and pray, and the world will become a better place. Never did. It's only getting worse. And what you pray for, you can get. What you put your attention on, you get. No, you put your attention on what you do. You work hard. You put out 1,000 resumes. You're going to get a job. You put out one, you probably won't. It's a matter how active you are, not how unactive you are. And people that talk about meditation, and I mean, yeah, it helps a little. But the thing about the more you meditate, the better you become. The more you become a zombie to this idea of this reality of world, of life, or even being alive. How many people can talk about crossing over? I can, but how many people really can? How many people can talk about death that's not afraid of it, or just want to pray that everything's going to be that they were told about it? And you got all these psychics talking about how all of them are there helping us, protecting us. What does a spirit protect you from? A sickness, a disease, getting run over? Once in a blue moon you hear, so, oh, the angel came and told me not to get on a plane and I didn't. All right. How about it was their mind, which is affected by soul, and soul's aware of everything that happens around it, a little before and a little after the moment it happens. So when soul and mind talk, one's right and one's wrong. Soul will always tell you something. Well, don't go that way. Why would it say don't go that way? Because the car's coming 50 miles an hour and you're blinking and you're sleeping, half asleep. Mind says, well, I can beat the car. I can run. I can jump. I can. See, there's so much going on that people rather say, well, I'm spiritually protected, or my angels are protecting me. From what? There's more crib deaths now than ever again. There's more children dying. Why? 150,000 people die daily. 100,000 die in the hospitals. Does that tell you something's wrong? Well, sick people go to the hospital, right? But sick people die in the hospital because they get treated for the wrong thing, get fed poisons. The flu vaccination is 4 poisons they inject into your body. They're spraying chemtrails over your body, which is more metals that poison your body. Are you aware? Are you listening? Do you care? Or are you just out in your, I got the truth. And what is your truth? You're ignorant. Think about it. What do you know that's helpful and beneficial to the human race? Do you know anything about aliens? Do you know anything about Bigfoot? Do you know anything about the things that are happening? What the government's really doing in the UFO world? UFO was over the White House a few days ago. They evacuated the White House. But guess what they say a day later? It was on radar and everything. Oh, it might have been birds. Do you think they're really that mentally disturbed? In one way they are, yeah. But do you really think they're that ignorant to what's really going on? Are people that gullible and stupid? Yes. Why? I ask myself why for the past 25 years now. I don't understand people. They're just so ignorant. Mostly men. Women aren't as ignorant. I'm sure a woman could be ignorant and angry and frustrated. The book, I keep saying, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. We have a woman that came from Venus, Arnek. She claimed she came here at 6 years old and was a Venusian. And we had that person that went into the White House that said he was from Venus. I'm not going to debate those stories. I wasn't in the White House when he came, went in there. I'm not going to say whether it was real or not, but that's the stories, there's books on it, everything else. But here's a little deeper into all that. We're dealing with robots in a computerized world. So the games we're feeding children are programming them to be massive killers. And now think about it. The games are more, I always said I won't play a game until it looks real. The games look real now. The people that move around in there look real. When you chop a person's head off, it looks real. When you blow a guy apart, it looks real. When you run a guy over, it looks real. So it's programming children not to feel anything about it. Oh, cool, we just ran it. Do you remember when Death Race came out? It was a hit. It was about cars traveling, and they had to hit people. They got more money for hitting elders and kids and things like that. And it was a long time ago that came out. But we're getting to the point where we're just like that. We don't care. We don't care. Children don't care. Well, there's children that are psychic, and they're in another world by themselves because nobody in this reality, in the normal state, can work with them. They don't understand them, and they'd rather just say they're crazy or insane. I can go into a lot of things I did in my life, and it's not as like I'm trying to brag about it. I don't even think about it, but I did things without knowing why. Just did them. I crossed 40 people over in Florida when they had the worst lightning storm. I was at a UFO conference. There was a UFO over the hotel. Everybody saw it. There was a lightning storm that lasted, I think, 3 or 4 hours. It killed over 40 people. But when I went out, I was crying, and I got out of bed at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was in the elevator. And I heard them say, "Did you hear what happened?" And I'm just saying, "What happened?" I went outside, and I saw these 40 people lined up by the ocean. I didn't realize it was their soul bodies, spirit bodies, whatever you want to call it. I crossed them over. I don't know how or why I did it, but I did. And I can go into things like that, but it's not like who's telling me it's an ego problem and it's just that healing people. I'm not going to the physical reality. Nothing, which I'm going to say again, are you important? Why? Because you're living on planet Earth? Is planet Earth important? Is it important to God? It created hell for a reason. Every alien race came and went. Every creature came and went. Why? Because this is hell. In the higher worlds of God, which very few people will ever see, not in this lifetime or many more in the future, are incredible. Everything works in harmony and different levels. So you can't compare them. The astral plane, where most soul goes when it dies, is not the same as the spiritual realm. It's not a spiritual realm. All right. I hope you follow me. Let me just see. I don't know if anybody even answered my chat room. Sorry. Oh man, I clicked out of it. Hope that didn't do anything to my show. No. All right. Sorry about that. Well, let me continue. All right. So we're playing a game, and I mean when the movie came out and it said Matrix and all that, it's kind of what people are. But they like the Matrix. They like playing in it. If you like playing, Planet Earth is a great place to play because you can play and do anything you want. And what do you think happens? Or you go to jail, get the death sentence. What's that mean? You'll be able to come back and do it again. That's all it means. Until you learn it's not right, or until you learn what's right or wrong, and there is one that's right and one that's wrong. I mean, a train of thought or awareness. All right. You have to think a little outside of the box. Getting back to this robot thing. Where children are being programmed to become robots. Robots are taking over cars, planes, you name it. Stores, they're stocking the shelves now. When a robot can build another robot, do you think they would really need us? I mean, my brother's a scientist, and he always says, well, there's 5 things they have to program that they can't program into a robot. Which it just takes some, like all the movies you see on TV, it just takes a little chip, puts it inside a robot that says, kill everybody. They've been doing that to the dolphins for years, trying to train dolphins to kill people. Why would they do that? Because they want robots to do their working in the underwater, have dolphins around submarines and different places that are protected. But see, dolphins are human in a lot of ways, and then they're also more aware than humans are. Same with whales. Why do you think they let the slaughter of whales and dolphins escalate to the point where it's at now? The government's afraid dolphins can actually become an incredible factor to the world. I can go into that. I don't want to get into it too long. Just that a friend of mine here in Hawaii was doing a dolphin birth, and they would plan a birth in the ocean, set the date up, pray the week before they went out, and go there, and there'd be schools of dolphins around them. And things would happen to the child. They'd be smart. They wouldn't get sick. They were also able to communicate with dolphins. Government doesn't want that. Dolphins have a brain like we do, and people eat them. I mean, a pig has DNA like we have, and they eat that as well. And they're just as intelligent as a dog is. So we don't eat things because of their intelligence or anything about it. Just we want to eat things. I think the human race eats everything that moves somewhere on this planet. Whatever kind of creature. I don't know about how many people eat centipedes, but I'm sure they eat just about every bug that they can. So what do you think you know about life? What do you think you know about death? Is it beneficial? And do you think aliens can come here and help you figure that out? Why would they? And what do you think they would teach you? Now, I'm going to go into a couple things that are going to bother you even more. But the idea is you have to start waking up to your truth. Prove it to yourself. Whatever you believe to be your truth. What does it mean? You got a mission. Everybody not everybody, most people believe they have a mission why they came here. Yeah, to find out what you are as soul, not any other reason. You're not here to save the world, save a race, save a country, save 10 people. Sure, you'll do that if you're in an aware state, and hopefully it'll rub off on some people, but you can't force people to become anything. You can't force your own children to become spiritual. Man, mankind has been forcing their children to be whatever they want them to be by the time they grow up and brainwash them the best they can. Why do they revolt? Because they're not into the program. So why are they revolting against God? Because father programs their children, so they think God would program us. No, God's not a program. God doesn't program us. It's given us the greatest ability to become the greatest entity that we possibly can. But it can't be here. This is hell. It doesn't become anything better than that. Planet Earth will never become this God-loving community world that people want. In that reality, you don't need many things. Everything we're creating would take us out of that place in the first place. Gambling, drugs, drinking, all those things. Every single thing that's entertainment takes you away from being in the bliss state on this planet. Why I can say that? Because in Atlantis, the human race that was here, there were 9 races. We didn't have to talk if we didn't want. You could hear people's thoughts, and it was easy. It wasn't like you had to think about it. You felt their energy. You knew what they wanted, felt, and felt any given moment. You couldn't lie to a person. You couldn't steal. And you didn't. You didn't eat animals. You didn't kill animals. You didn't kill each other. It was an incredible time on planet Earth, the way God created it. But the alien races, which are less aware of spiritual truth than any other person on this planet, are into what? They don't have feelings and emotions, so they don't think the same way we do. They eat humans. Almost all the races do. All the races that are here anyway. Why do you think they're here? But we'll get into that. So tell yourself, here's something that might make you happy. I say I'm crazy going sane. I'd rather be that than sane going crazy. And most people are sane going crazy. So maybe that'll make you feel good or happy. But for me, let's talk about something really bizarre. I don't know if you know much about the Temple Mount and what's happening in this country here. Not our country, but it's okay. There's one religion that's the most populated, which is called Christianity. And the second one under that is Muslims. And the Jewish is getting up there, but Hinduism is now in third place. And the Jewish, they're all fighting over a piece of land, a spiritual piece of land. Who made it spiritual? Why do they think it's spiritual? Why do they think anything on planet Earth is spiritual? I just ended a friendship with another friend of mine, was a friend of mine. He attacked me straight out. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. That's fine. Because, you know, people that think they do a certain thing makes them spiritual. Even meditation. Like lamas go into a cave for 40 years. They think they're spiritual because they come out of meditation after 40 years. Do they even know how society lives? Do they know anything about society? Do they know that their country or the land was taken over, like Tibet was taken over by China? Do they know any of the real things that they were setting themselves on fire for years and years? Then the Chinese come in and burn down 250 temples. Do they understand any of that? Of course not. And where do they want to take you? To the bliss state. And now the New Age movement, which is pulling away from God, you see it being erased and removed at every level, and filling it with their ego. Well, we're all God. We're all God and we live in hell. Does that make sense? Or you believe we're living in a dream? Well, if you live in a lousy, ignorant dream, why stay in it? I always have the ability to get in and out of my dreams, go back and change them if I want to, and things like that. Sometimes I like to leave them messed up because I think about it and it makes me think about the situation. But I mean, I can go in and change it, make it better, and fly, move, do whatever I want in there. And you all can if you want to. But you got to understand dreams before you can start playing with them. What they're telling you, what it means. Sure, they're not all easy to figure out, but we all have them for a reason. We don't have anything happening for not a reason. When you throw up, you're throwing up for a reason. Not because, well, I feel like throwing up today. Things happen because of things that relate to something going on. Your dreams are filled with past lives and the physical life. And they relate to what's happening and in different ways, but they don't symbols. I use the word, stole it from somewhere, but the dream master. And they give you parts of dreams to help you understand it, but they can't give it to you straight out because you wouldn't understand the answer. I mean, why Jesus talked in parables and stuff, because people didn't understand anything about the inner worlds or the higher dimensions or those kind of words. He had to use family and father and words that they understood. The same as now. Tell me, please, think about this in your great truth of wisdom and knowledge that you might have or think you have. What does spiritual really mean? In detail, what does it mean? Hold on. Do you know this book? All right. He's talking about the inner earth beings and the giants. I mean, yeah, they're all real. But are they going to help us? The giants were pretty much wiped out at every level, in every time frame. I mean, the book of the giants in the Bible was taken out. They didn't want people to know too much about the giants then either. Going back to Hinduism and stuff with the giants, a lot of deities were super big. They weren't little people coming down here. But people don't believe in half of these things. So how can you talk about them? How can you say, well, I believe in angels, but I don't believe in demons. I believe in Lucifer, but I don't believe in God. I mean, you believe in parts of truth. So your truth is full of it because it's not full of the truth. If you put all the things together, everything fits together. God, aliens, demons, even the elementals, all of them fit together in a beautiful pattern, but they don't work together. All the elementals on this planet are being forced out. There's only a few places where they can live now. The unicorns and Pegasus existed in one point in time, but they were all killed as well. Mankind destroys everything. They don't build and create good things, they destroy things. Building spaceships to go in space destroys the ozone layer. They say they can replace it in 20, 30 years. No, they can't. If you're around 20 years, you'll see the difference, that it's not better than it is right now. As long as we have these fires burning, which are intentional, we'll keep destroying the ozone layer. It will keep destroying the weather greater and greater every single year. Are aliens helping us? No. Will they help us? No, they will not. The only thing certain races will do is try to make sure we don't blow up the whole planet. They don't care if we blow up each other, all right? Because each other there's too many of us anyway. They don't need to eat 7 billion people. All right. And I just imagine that when we're talking about does different races taste better than the other, what they eat. I mean, fish taste like what they eat. A swordfish tastes good because what they eat. Sharks taste like swordfish because they eat a lot of swordfish. Now, bluefish eat bunker, and bunker is the most oily fish, so they're oily fish. So we are what we eat. And in the Bible, it says it's not what goes in your stomach, it's what comes out. It's not what goes in you, but it's what comes out of you. I mean, that's a metaphor, but it's a really important one. So we have the ability, our bodies to cure, help, clean everything. So we destroyed that. We're at a place where everything we do is not able to fight and destroy the things that are inside us. The government knows that. Scientists know that. And they make more toxic things to put inside your body. Children are going to have all the horrible diseases that only senior citizens get. They're starting to get it a lot along the coast because of the Fukushima and the chemtrails. People are going to be getting all these things, becoming dumb, twisted, and you can see it by what mankind does now. What do you think a child would run into a school and blow kids up or shoot them or whatever? What do you think's going on? Oh, bad programming, part of it. Bad teaching, part of it. Bad parents, part of it. What parent teaches their child anything about any spiritual truth? Oh, did you name anything spiritual? Do you understand what the word means? At any level. Who's spiritual on this planet? Somebody I knew said to me, well, you think everybody's not spiritual. I said, well, tell me one person that is. I mean, try to name yourself as one. I mean, one person said they started doing more meditation. I said, oh, the longer you do meditation, the more spiritual you become? Really? Is that how it works? So if we all sit in meditation, the world become pure bliss, beautiful. What God are they going to worship? None. Let me just lower this here. So, we're moving into a really bad space, whether people want to look at it or not. We're not getting better. Things aren't getting better. Trump's not going to make anything better. And with the fighting between the Democrats and Republicans, just shows you politics is useless for people. And when they did away with the what Thomas Jefferson created, where we're allowed to go against the government, they made you a terrorist now if you go against the government. But we had the right to form a militia anytime we feel the government's not right. But the government would take you out as a militia. And they do if you form one. So we're going backwards in a lot of ways. We're being more controlled and used. And people sit back and go, oh, we're becoming spiritual. We're just like God. I said, well, your idea of a God is sick, twisted, and perverted. If you think God thinks, if you perceive yourself as God, you think rape and child abuse, child slavery, and all those child things that they do to poor children is right? What they do to women and still are? Rape victims can't. It's the hardest thing for a woman to prove that she was raped. Why is that? Because, oh, if they use a rubber, they don't have semen. I said, well, then I guess everybody that rapes people gets away with it because they use a rubber. Is that the justification for it? A woman's testimony? Well, his testimony. Well, I thought of a bunch of things, and I only found out truth serum doesn't really work. It works a little here and there, because I was thinking of giving everybody truth serum. But you give them a lie detector test, you give them truth serum, you put them up in front of 9 proven psychics. You got a little more to go on about the person, whether he's lying or not. If he screws up the lie detector test, guess what? You don't have to go any further. I mean, there's little things we could do, but man doesn't want his name to get tarnished. That's why they were allowed to kill their children, their girls, when they had too many in China. And things like that. Why they always sacrifice women, mostly in little children. It's a pathetic game of power. Girls and children have so much more energy than men do. Sorry, men. Sorry, ignorant men. They are much gifted in a lot of ways on a more spiritual level. Not that they're spiritual. They got more spiritual energy flowing through them than man does. Oh no, well, tell me one spiritual person on this planet. The Dalai Lama? The Pope? Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle. You think they're spiritual? They're making billions of dollars. They must be up there right now, telling you live in the moment. Don't get pulled in. Don't get pulled into life. Why live a life if you're not going to live it? You don't need to be here, but you are. So make use of it. Do what you can. Enjoy it while you're here, while you can. But to say, "Oh, live in the bliss state," and watch your children get hurt and all these things, and then say, "Well, my spirit guides protect us. Jesus protects us." Well, we'll talk about Jesus. I'm going to be doing a show tomorrow with Tina. She's from England. She's been abducted half of her life. We're going to have a guest on. She claims she talked to Jesus, and my whole book is The True Teachings of Jesus from God Realization. All right, so I want you to start thinking what spiritual means to you and what it means to the world, what it means to God. They're probably all different. So which level of that do you want to understand? Well, what it means to me, because I'm a spiritual person. Are you? I've been involved with so many things, the truth about everything. I don't say I'm a spiritual person. When I'm out of here, I will become that. You can't become spiritual and live on planet Earth. Jesus didn't stay here. He was a spiritual being. He didn't have to leave either, did he? And he's not coming back. I know all my friends every which way say he is. Hold on, let me close this window because I'm getting a lot of rip-rap. Sorry about that. Had to clean up a little bit of noise. Enough, I know you're having a hard time understanding me, but that's my problem. I'm sorry. Let's go into a few other words. I'm going through a lot. I know I always do that. I always say I'm going to do this and do that. It's just hard because there's just too many things that link to things that we're talking about. And you need to know more about a topic and a subject and why things are what they are. All right. Okay. I'm going to talk about something that I know for truth. All right. The New Age people believe in themselves as becoming God. All right. That's their limited viewpoint. Oh, I can't be prejudiced? Prejudice is a real word? If somebody's a murderer, I'm supposed to love them and send them unconditional love? Why? Who told you that? Do you believe it? If I told you jumping off a bridge makes everybody spiritual, so everybody should jump off a bridge? Okay, there was a temple. Getting back to this temple they built, Temple Mount, and it was really built for Shiva. If you know who Shiva is, he's a deity, creator and destroyer. I have my experience with it directly for years, not just praying to it, working with it directly on this planet. But that's my truth, my experiences. All right, now it's populated by religions. Christianity's fighting, everybody's fighting. Muslims are fighting. But the New Age movement, they don't believe in Shiva. They believe in aliens. Some do, some don't. But here's the thing: the deity Shiva is one of the most important deities. Now, there's hundreds of deities, but they're not all directly working as God's main caregiver for a word of each realm. The astral plane, which is the most abused and used plane for all souls that have to come back here, there's three deities that run that the outer works of it, so souls don't go from there into the next realm. Oh, well, no, it's not. If you have a rapist gets into the astral plane and then he can go into the higher realms, why? That itself would start destroying the realm that it goes in. It's like putting a rotten apple with a bushel of rotten apples. They'll all get destroyed in time, period. There's nothing you can do to stop it, except take the rotten apple out. So these gods, little gods I call them, deities, have a job of keeping souls at the level they vibrate. Well, we're raising our level of vibration. No, we're not. The vibration of a higher vibration destroys the planet. If one of the high deities from the soul plane came down here, it would probably shatter the whole world. Never mind God. God's vibration's too high. That's why it stays in the higher realms. And that's why its light and sound comes down through all the realms to hear. All right. If you want the truth, it's there. If you want it, I can give you as much of it you want to hear, and then it would be up to you to prove it and find it for yourself. But you probably won't because you don't want to know the real truth. You're happy with what you got. And that's fine. If you're hurting people, it's not fine. You're not hurting anybody except yourself, that's okay too. You want to stay here forever? That's your choice. God's not going to make you become spiritual. If that's what it wanted, we would all be spiritual. We wouldn't have to go through this garbage. But God wanted each little cell to learn what it is and become fully aware of that. All right. I'm trying to take this at different levels. I'm not going to be doing a show for too long today. I don't think too many people could hold on to a thought too long. I can't. I mean, I'm already into 50 million thoughts that I got to get into. All right. God's deities, little gods that are on the astral plane, one's called Shiva, also Satnam, which was actually Jehovah. I mean, the names that people give them or what they want to call them is a choice of their belief system. But guess who also dwells on top of the astral plane? A name that everybody knows and doesn't believe or does believe or is fearful or not. Lucifer. Lucifer doesn't come down to the physical world. Neither do these deities. Other deities do and did, but they don't need to come here. They got a mission that they have to do and have to really stay on guard. Lucifer is the highest archangel. Oh no, because of who? Somebody twisted the words in the Bible? Even Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, it's twisted what Jesus did when he met Lucifer. Two of the people of the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were evangelists. One was following Peter and the other one was following Paul. So they weren't true of the 12 people around Jesus. I mean, they weren't following Jesus. They were following the people of Jesus. All right. And hearsay and twisted information and handed down information never gets perceived as the ultimate truth because it's not. All right. These gods that have to stay and watch over the realm determine people's karma. We don't. If we get rid of it, they don't have to determine anything. But as long as you have it, they determine what you need to do with it. When you get to the astral plane, which nobody talks about, there's one person out there, I'm still trying to debate him. He's got no balls, talking about balls. He's got no balls to come out and defend himself against me or even try to communicate with me. He said something that proved to him his own self. He said it straight out why he's not the highest spiritual mystic on the planet, even though he says he is. He says he knows everything about life, death, reincarnation, and blah, blah, blah. I asked him a real simple question. And think about it. I'm going to go back to what I was talking about. Are you connected by the silver cord? And he says, yes. That means you can't leave the astral plane. That's what the silver cord is. So he never experienced the higher realms. There's multiple realms in the astral plane. When you get into them, you will understand that, but not before. When I say there's 3 realms in this physical world, not the first, second, and third dimension, 3 realms, separate realms of reality. Some people call the other side of reality. It's only one realm that you go into. It was a good movie where they had the 2 realities face to face fighting each other, and they were both the same people on both sides, and they're crossing over. It was a cool movie, but it's not how it's really going down. But it could be a reflection of an idea of that. But these deities have to keep these souls with tons of karma here. They can't let them stay on the astral plane either. Sure, they could work it out. If they were spiritual, if they were aware being, they could. But when you leave here, living your life, smoking, drinking, partying, having sex, and I'm not saying sex is wrong, but not caring about anything outside of that or believing anything outside of that other than money, you're not understanding why soul even came here in the first place. Sure, you can have fun, but why? I mean, what's the benefit of having fun versus not? Well, it makes me happy, and what's happy make you feel? Like I'm useful, or the world's useful, and what happens when you're sick and everything? Oh, this world sucks, and this world this, and this that. Well, look at reality. This is hell. This is the only place soul sees it all. Death, murder, rape, abuse, every kind of crime and bad acts you could possibly imagine or not ever imagine even happening. If you live in a place where stuff like that's going on, you're not in a spiritual place. Atlantis, none of those things existed. They never existed until a few races came down here and screwed with us. I wasn't there when that happened. I already left. There were 9 races. 5 races left Atlantis before it was destroyed. And there were colors. There were 9 colors of races, but 5 colored races left, including the blue race, purple race, green race. I mean, the red, yellow, white, and black race stayed here because they didn't evolve. They didn't become a spiritual being. They didn't learn spiritual awareness. What it means, what it is. I mean, they were vibrating at the vibration at a certain time frame, but when these aliens came down and threw in murder and perverted sex and anger and hate, it twisted their awareness, and they were stuck here. The ones that were totally aware already said, we don't need to be here. This is only the first level, like it's kindergarten. I want to go to a higher level. You don't need to see crime and feel it and go through it to say, well, it's wrong. If you're aware, you know the energy that exists on this planet right now. You know the energy of people that brag and talk about love and compassion and everything's beautiful and everything's this, that, and the other thing. They're living in a fantasy world because they don't know nothing about death. They know nothing about where they're going to go when they die. Or they wouldn't be talking about that. Dying and going to the astral plane isn't la la land. You don't sit around a table with your family forever. If God was going to allow that to happen, it would just let us stay here. Why would it make us go anywhere else if we're going to just sit around the table talking to each other? About what? The weather, which we're destroying? The food we're eating, we're destroying? What are you going to talk about that would be beneficial for anything or anybody? Mankind is so ignorant in everything it does. It's just mind-boggling that people sit there and say, oh, we're the most spiritual we ever been. Really? What does man do that's spiritual? What can man create that's spiritual? A spaceship? A laser beam? A neutron hydrogen bomb? A bow and arrow? A gun? A machine gun? A bazooka? What? Poisons? Toxins? And then make an antidote for the flu out of poisons? Well, we got to change our immune system. No, the immune system was able to destroy anything that came into it until mankind increased the amount of toxins that came in the body. So we talk about good aliens. Oh, really? What's a good alien? An alien that sits back and watches little children die? If you were a spiritual being, you would care about every soul that's dying on your clock. Not on anybody else's, your clock. If you have the ability to stop Russia and China from fighting, or China and the United States from fighting, or Israel and Iran from fighting, would you? Oh, no, they need their karma. If you can explain and show them that it's wrong, and maybe they'll work out their karma a different way rather than killing each other. Killing only makes more karma for yourself and the world. So the karma of this world is what you have to deal with when you come here. But you then have to deal with the karma you created in your past lives and what you are bringing into this reality and creating in this lifetime. So very few people figure it out that they have to stop creating karma and know how to stop creating karma. What creates karma? Ask yourself that. What creates karma? Killing somebody? Yeah. Lying? Yeah. Cursing? Yeah. Drinking? Most of the time. So what doesn't create karma? Praying? No. If you're praying for somebody to do something, you're trying to control reality. You have no right to interfere with other people unless you're invited in. So aliens are completely evil. There's no such thing as a good alien. For all those ignorant people that say, well, the good aliens told me this and that, showed me this. They're not showing you anything important. I can go into all the names like Corey Good and David Icke and Wilcock and all those people, all their stories, and half good and half bad and half this and half. They have no clue. Aliens don't have the same reason for life that we do. They live a lot longer than us, so we should eat like them. Eat humans then. Maybe you'll live longer. Greys eat humans and so do reptilians. Just so you know. And they're the ones that are playing the biggest games with us right now. We're going to hear about the Anunnaki. I'm against the Anunnaki. I don't believe in half of the stuff that's said about them. They're not gods. They never were gods. They didn't change us in any way, except give us negative ideas and put it into our consciousness. I mean, that changed us that way. I mean, it didn't make us grow 10 fingers on another hand that we don't have, or give us 3 eyes or 4 eyes, or 2,000 teeth, or whatever. You ever wonder why, like, your hair keeps growing, your teeth don't? Fish, the whales, sharks, just growing and growing and growing. When they rip out, they grow more. See, animals adapt. If we were adapting, we would grow things like tough skin that didn't burn, and all the things that would make us better, like a roach. A roach is the oldest creature on the planet. It changes its form constantly to survive. It grows wings when it needs to. It turns its wings into a shell and goes underground when it needs to. It can live on nothing for a year. It can live on paper. It can live on anything. So it's the most adaptable creature, and that's why it's the oldest creature. But is it intelligent? Well, it knows how to survive here on planet Earth. How long would it survive in space? It won't. Soul doesn't need any of those things that humans do. So to think that soul thinks like we do, it doesn't. Well, I need my coffee in the morning to get started. I mean, I need my beer to make it through the day. I need a shot of whatever. It's all false reality. Hold on, let me just see. Get rid of karma in a given lifetime. No, you can't. That's why you reincarnate so many times. All right. When you reincarnate, Sarge 18's in the chat room. I mean, you could call in on Skype. And I could put you on verbally. But here's the thing. Karma is not something you can work out in one lifetime. But you usually create more. And that's why soul reincarnates over and over. As it comes back in each lifetime, it slowly starts realizing it's creating karma. But that's multiple lifetimes. Then again, with all the pleasures of mankind, lust, greed, anger, vanity, and attachment are the things that make mankind happy living here. I convert them into sex, drugs, drinking, cheap thrills, sports that entertain man and keeps them happy in life. Nothing else does. Oh, the word money. But money brings those things into reality. So if you can skip all that, you can start eliminating karma. And I hope people that make money don't get pulled into it, because it's a disease. Money's a disease. It's not a benefit or a plus. Jesus never had money. He didn't walk around with money. Didn't have to have it. But when people need money, I'm not saying it doesn't help. If you keep it, like Oprah, even the big UFO person, Bigelow, he's one of the richest people in the United States, probably the world. All right. Thanks for that, Sanjo. So here's the thing. When we talk about money, you have to stay in full control over it, or it controls you. The demons run by Satan love this planet. They love to give everybody what they want. Drugs, sex, and things that make them happy. When they're happy, they want to stay here. When you're unhappy, you don't want to stay here. There's no reason to stay here. I can give it, and it's for the person that's in the chat room, who's my good friend, his partner. We were friends, and we did this thing. We traveled out of the body together. It was one of the most incredible things that I ever did in this reality with somebody else. When you can see that this planet isn't all there is, and it only gets better when you leave it. The idea of sickness is to help you get out of here. If God didn't want us to get out of here, wouldn't have created any sickness in the beginning in the first place. Why? We would stay here. Aliens stay here so long because they don't have feelings and emotions and they don't understand God. So, I mean, there's billions of, not billions, but there's tons of atheists that don't believe in God. New Age people, a lot of them don't believe in a God. They believe in the universe as a God. It's sad where we're moving. We're moving in a credible, sad direction, which is not the right direction. Oh, but there's no right or wrong. Well, you can believe that and stay here. Watch children being abused at every level. My book is coming out. I'm bringing people into that as I can. I'm going to play a song. And listen to this. I found a song that I love and I use already, but I didn't know who it was by. It was by a company. I was selling KM, a drink, potassium mineral drink, many years ago. And it was a healthy drink and helped sugar diabetes, helped a lot of things. They put out an album, and the album was put out to save children that were being abused. And all the money that came in on that album was supposed to help build centers and things like that. So I'm starting to use the song, but I'm trying to get rights to use it through the person that wrote it. And you know who I found that wrote the album? He goes under Loverboy right now, and he's going on tour right now. Now that I want to get in touch with him, he's becoming famous again after all these years. He sold 10 million albums. He was famous, an incredible singer. But his song is Cindy's song. I was going to put the link up. I'll probably do it in the next week. It's the most horrible song because it's so real. And if you could listen to that without getting emotional, you can't have a heart. But it's about a little girl that opens the door every night when her father comes into the room. And it's sad because she doesn't know anything better. And there's a bunch of songs on that album, and one of them, Just If, All One People. That's the name of the album. Meaning if we were all one, acted as one, and acted as we were like connected in some form, some way, and respected each other. But that's not where we're at. We have too many things that entertain people. I don't know if you heard about the ball thing. I should tell you later when we talk. But how balls corrupt the consciousness of the human race. Men in general. Women aren't. Well, women are starting to play soccer and all those games as well. But it was a man's game originally. The native people created the stick game, which was hitting a rock back and forth. But there was no right and wrong, and there was no winner. And it slowly became, it's like ping pong. When somebody picks up a ball and hit it to pong, and they hit it back and forth. You know what they created? Tennis. I'm just saying, it's a joke. But what I'm saying is mankind's entertainment came from balls, big and little. So we're moving into this place, drinking, drugs, sports, boxing, weightlifting, heavy. I mean, all these other fighting styles, last man standing and things like that, where the abuse is so incredibly horrible in this day and age, and they're getting paid millions of dollars to do it. Why is that? Mankind's twisted idea, which was created after Atlantis went down. The Anunnaki came, the reptilians came, the Draconians came, and they fed us the idea of killing, sexual perversions, and all those little words. Sacrifice. There was no such thing as sacrifice in Atlantis, just so you know that. But as it came out and became part of reality for the Mayans and the Aztecs, which were working with these alien demons, but they call them gods. And the definition of God now is anything with power. So if you're a super powerful dragon or creature, you're still a god because you can control things. But it's a perversion, twisted idea of the reality that we're creating. Now, sure, I left this show, TJ Morris, CT Radio. I was doing that for 7 years. But she was bringing all these people on. Two of the people, all they talked about was the Anunnaki, because he went to school with Zachariah Sitchin and all those kind of things. I didn't want to hear it no more. I don't believe half of the stories about them. They didn't create us. They never changed what we look like or what we are. They only fed us perverted ideas, which mankind accepted. Most men. I went through lifetimes. In all the lifetimes I had, I'm going to get short because I don't want to go too much longer. All the lifetimes I had, which was many, I was just about every kind of religious, spiritual person that existed all through history. The only 3 that I have that are important was my first one, which was in Atlantis, my second one when I was with Jesus, and my present one now. Because after all those other lifetimes, I was able to piece together even why I'm here and now. It's not to do this great mission of saving the planet. Nobody has that mission. Jesus didn't come to save the world because he didn't save the world. If that was his mission, he would have. Understand that. Now, when people say this, that, and the thing about the Muslim religion. He worked with an angel, Gabriel. What did Gabriel know about God? Probably very little. Angels just don't know everything about God. They know what they know. They teach what they know. They can't teach what they don't know. They're human, not human, but they were souls. They are souls like we are. But they became aware of what they can do with their energy and what they really are as a soul, which mankind's not doing. We did in Atlantis. We had 32 psychic abilities, everybody that lived here. And they were all taken away. Now, the top psychics on this planet today have an ability in being even any kind of psychic is maybe about 5%. No psychic can raise or levitate a pencil. No psychic can make a demon leave at any given split second if they're facing a real demon. I mean, all these things, because the abilities were taken away. Mankind would use any ability that it could have against the reality of this planet. If one person was psychic enough to read 2 minutes in advance, just 2 minutes, not 10 years, 10,000 years, he could change the world and own it. He can go into every casino on the planet, go in there and hit every jackpot on every wheel, every machine, and take all the money of the planet real fast. And that's not happening. They can't even get themselves in a nice hotel or a house or apartment, can't even get them a nice car. Most of these people claim to be psychic. There's a few people like Grand Prawn and stuff like that charge $500 for an hour and things like that. Yeah, they're making money, telling you, well, now they're going into the spiritual side of things and bring love into the picture. Everybody wants to hear about love is important. It is between two people if they keep it, water it, make it grow. But it dies usually. In 60 to 70% of relationships, it dies because they never experienced true love in the first place. And the love you experience here is only 1/10 of the experience that you can experience when you experience God. And that should be the biggest opener in your consciousness to say, wow. But you won't believe it. No, I love my wife. I love my children. The old saying, if your wife and your child, you had a choice to save one, which one would you save? Oh, the child. Why? Well, because she's young. You married your wife. You didn't marry your child. See, mankind adjusts their thinking to the way they're programmed to think. And with aliens in the background, we're not thinking from a spiritual, compassionate level. Nobody does. Well, I'm a spiritual being. I care. I send unconditional love to all the people. Yeah, really? Send it to all the aliens. Send it to everybody. And what to do? Nothing. The world's going to be destroyed. Mostly. Not all of it. A couple souls have to live. A small percentage. No matter what goes down. Revelations is only a small glitter of what could happen and the way it's going to happen. But the goddess, that would be who? Who's the goddess? Okay, the goddess of the soul plane, which is the highest deity, is Durga. She's not the written story that you would read in Buddhism about Durga. She's not that being. She's the highest being in the whole physical universes and lower dimensions and lower realms, from the fifth world down to this realm. And it is a female, but it's not like she has a sexual genitalia and all that. It's an image that she chose to choose. In the astral plane, you choose the age you want to be, 10, 20. Most people choose between 26 and 36 because that's the age they think they were the most beneficial, strongest, and all the other words, smartest and all that. But again, this deity took on a form that it felt that was vibrating for itself, not because it's a male or female. You don't have sex or anything like that in the higher realms, so it has nothing to do with sexual agenda, genitalia, or your agenda about it. It's about the vibration you create. Soul vibrates. Raising your vibration changes the soul vibration itself. In the inner world, you have a spiritual name. Mine's the car. Okay. Whoa, are you afraid somebody will steal? No, nobody can steal your vibration. Every single soul has a vibration, just like every single cell phone has its own line. Think about it. Billions of lines. Every one of them is separate. Why, when I dial, it's not dialing somebody else's phone in China or somewhere else? Because everybody has a separate signal. And when they broke down the shortwave, long wave waves, they broke it into multiple frequencies, and then they came up with the bands that the police department have, the bands that the fire department have, And they started splitting it then, to the point now everybody has their own vibration through their phone. I'm not saying it's a vibration that you vibrate at. Your vibration is your name. Anywhere in the solar system, universes, and multiple realms, I'm known as the car. Period. If I say it, everybody in those realms know it. So when you vibrate at a certain frequency, which I met all the deities from here to the soul plane, I don't know how many people will admit it or say it or can, and are able to say the difference when you go from the astral plane to the mental plane, or to the soul plane, or to the etheric plane. There's gods on each one of them. One God on those worlds, and like I said, 3 and 1 on the astral plane, which is Lucifer as well. And they're all important. They're not evil. The only thing that's evil is man's consciousness. And we're not perceiving or understanding or willing to change that. I'm not saying we myself, but we the people. We the people aren't free in the United States. We the people are lied to. We the people accept lies. We the people don't know the truth. So what are we the people of? We the people are ignorant. And so is our government. So where are we going? Nowhere. This is hell. What do you expect to do in hell? Have fun? Well, that's where you are. That's why you can do whatever you want. Whatever turns you on, you can do. Whether it hurts people or not. You know when a boxer goes into the ring and they pray to God so that they beat the other guy up? Do they really think they're praying to a God? What kind of a God do they pray to? Well, I'm going to go to Russia and destroy Russia. Make sure I have the strength to kill everybody there. Killing is not anything pertaining to God. Man believes it is. All these religions kill in the name of God. Let's blame God for everything that's wrong. Let's not give him credit for all the let's not give it credit for all the things that could be right. We're pathetic. We're a sad race, and the alien races that are coming here are even sadder. And why do you think they're coming here? Food and wisdom. Not scientific knowledge about space travel and all that. They don't need that. Go into dimensions and realms. They still don't understand reality because they don't understand God. They're gods. Ask any alien who created them. Ask any one of them. Ask the Anunnaki who created them. Ask the Andromedans, and Arcturians, all of them, any of them. The Arcturians, you name them. Who invented them? Who created them? Were they just a spark of dust from an explosion in a universe? See, we have this limited awareness. We're programmed by retarded scientists that give us nothing but poison and lies. And look at the world. The world reflects who and what we are. The ocean's dying. The air's dying. The waters inland are dying. The animals are dying. The plants are dying. So what are we doing right? Anything? Please, like I said, can you give me a definition of spiritual? Then give me a definition of what's right and wrong. Anything. When I said the spiritual laws that exist in the physical world, and there's spiritual laws that exist in the astral world, and there's spiritual laws that exist in every realm to the soul plane. Soul is the highest soul can go within itself. It doesn't become God. It stays soul, what you truly are, with your true awareness when you attain it. It's the ultimate goal for 99.9% of all souls that leave this realm. There's a few souls that will move on beyond that. You can go into the higher realms. God allows it. But not to the idiots that'll go there and blow it up, destroy it, or try to put sex creatures there, whatever their twisted imagination would bring them. So we're in the middle of a serious battle. I guess I went as far as I'm going to go today because there's just so many things going on, and mankind's not ready for truth. I find out every single day somebody saying something more ignorant than the day before. It boggles my mind. But the truth is, aliens are here, and they're playing with us right now. They're going to get worse in every way. Now, I don't know if Sargeli is still there. I don't know, but you probably left. But demons, spirits, entities are growing incredibly strong. Satan's feeding them good energy that it's taken from people. They're getting violent in a greater way than ever in history. Documented violence, which is scary. If you get a demon and are unprotected, most people are not, and these demons come in the house and play with you and hit you, kill you. They have the ability to kill people now, which they never really did. Could drive a person crazy, but the things they can do. I mean, you heard about the different houses that were possessed by demons and entities and bad soul. But it also affects the mind that helps create the energy. If you don't have a strong mind against that, it uses your mind to create the energy as well. Like I said, we were able to levitate things. So when when a demon comes in the room and they levitate a chair or anything else, you're helping them do it. You feed them energy. So there's a lot of things going on in this moment, and you still can't talk to a psychiatrist about demons, aliens. Oh, they're not real. When aliens are walking this planet, which will be soon, mankind has to change to their level of what they want. It'll be a fight. It'll be a pretty decent fight, but the aliens will win. Because mankind hopefully moved to a state of not being the massive killers that we used to be. Think about the cowboy days and walking around with a gun, just shoot whoever you wanted. Think about how they slaughtered the native people. We were just a violent race, always. Look at the arenas in the old days, how they fought and what they had in the arenas. They had to see people get chopped up, eaten, and slaughtered every which way they can. So mankind accepts that as fun and entertainment. So boxing didn't die out. The strongman fighting is more watched than ever now. They brought it back on TV on Friday nights. Did you see that? So we're going backwards at every level. The world's getting contaminated. Mankind's thinking's perverted and twisted. Man doesn't know what morals mean. And then the idea of sex and genitalia is going to be removed from the picture. You can be whatever you want. Want to be a girl, want to be a guy, want to be half and half. You can want to be a droid. You can make all that happen, whatever you want. Imagine that. Because they have parts of their past life, little vague parts of it, of being a woman, being a man, and they don't even know which one was really them because you're not male or female. Soul isn't male or female. And if the human race was able to perceive that, they wouldn't be so, I have to be a female, I have to be a male. Well, I had sex with men all my life, now I don't have sex with women the way they have it. I mean, it's just like, I don't want to get into that. It's just twisted energy, twisted thoughts, and twisted programming. The book I'm writing, I'll say it one more time, it'll be about rape. It'll be coming out soon. I'll probably make it a PDF file and I'll give it away. Because I want every woman that's able to face the truth to read it. I want to go into truth that nobody talks about. What's going on in that world? And it's horrible. It's 10 times or 100 times worse than you could possibly imagine. What little children can go online and see right now is the most disgusting thing on this planet. So am I crazy? Call me crazy if you want. I'm crazy for staying here even longer when I couldn't leave. I could have left a while ago. But I have a partner I'm in love with. I care more about her. And I have to make sure she's okay before I can leave. Period. That's all. There's no other reason. Not to save mankind. Mankind doesn't want to be saved. What are we going to save man from? Their sexual pleasures, their sport entertainment, their drug addict habits, or whatever? Oh, they can buy a really nice car. I mean, what kind of is that? And here's the thing. Living in the moment, which they're all telling you, live in the moment. Look at the moment you're in. Don't make it beautiful. Don't paint a beautiful picture around it. Look at the picture that you're in. Look at what's happening to the world. Look at these countries. They're all fighting. They killed how many children, kids in the school? They wouldn't let them out, so they're just slaughtering them. And they're giving their lives to get some of them out of the school before they all get shot up. It's just perverted, twisted, sickness growing. And I'm the evil one. I'm the negative person. No. I look at the facts. I don't look at fairy tales. I don't listen to delusional people talking about delusional stories, twisted ideas about the good aliens or the good people. Good people don't stay in hell for long. Watch the movie Lucifer. It's kind of twisted in a way, but it's got a lot of more wisdom about it than any other show out there. What man does and what man perceives and believes and accepts and everything else. I mean, think about it. I hope I gave you something to think about today. Take it home, get into it. Please, this is a hardcore situation. It's not going to get better by itself. Trump doesn't care where we're going. Read the book, The Last President. Read it. And then the mystical journey of Trump's father. And then how that all fits together, what's happening, what Trump's doing, what he thinks, what he knows. Read it. It's accurate in every way. It was written 120 years ago. The Last President, and I think you pull up the other book, The Mysterious Journey of something Trump. Baron Trump, whatever his father's name is. Read them. It'll explain something, because Trump knows how the world's going to get destroyed. But he's here to make money until he does, until it gets destroyed. He went inside the earth, so the past, present, and future. So with that, there's stuff out there to read, find, if you're looking for any more truth than what you think you already have. If you're happy with it, fine, live in it. But the karma will come to you when you're on your deathbed and you see where you're going to go, and you go where you think you'll go where you don't think you're going to go. Not hell. I mean, this is hell. You can't go any further than here. With that, peace. I hope you got something out of today. I want to put this up on Facebook to get it out there as well. Most sensitive hello. All right. Greetings. Anybody can reach me at Hawksblood1, HAWKSBLOOD1. I'm on Skype at Hawksblood11. Please text me, call me, whatever. I answer all my emails. I try to answer any questions. If it pertains to anything I know, I'll answer it in the truth. And I'll let you say, look, it's up to you to find it and make sure that it's true or not. But I promise you this, 90% of what you hear at every UFO conference isn't going to help you in life, and it's not going to help you in death. With that, till next time, love, light, compassion, whatever you need in your life, I hope you get it. So with that, take it to the bank. When you get this link, I'm going to put it on Facebook. If you see it, spread it around. I know the UFO people hate me, and only one person I really deal with is Tina on my show tomorrow, and Sergeant Latine, who's I've been friends with a long time, and we go back with a lot of different things that are happening. So yeah, we don't agree on everything. Spiritual people don't. That's why there's a council of 9 on the astral plane, because they don't agree, and that's why there has to be an odd number. Because if it was 8, they would never come to a decision, because you all don't agree. So with that, till next time, hope you got something out of today. Please text me, call me, email me, whatever you want. I have a petition up. I'll put it back up, and I want everybody to sign it. It's about rape, and it's about trying to get women to get active and change the laws that exist on the books on it. And there's really, really horrible laws. So yeah, I can go on, but I won't. So till next time, I'll be doing a show tomorrow. You can come on that show. I got mixed up today. You can come on that show through Skype, Hawksblood11, and I could probably pull you into the show as well, or just call in and get into the chat room. But I like people talking. I like to hear their voice and actually be involved with a real person. In all these dating sites where they date people for 4 years and never even saw their face. I'm a hardcore person. I live my truth. Till next time. Hold on, I just got one last thing. Oh, it disappeared. I could pull it up. I'll answer it. It was something about the Council of 9. Yeah, they exist in the astral plane. They control this world and that world. All right, till next time. You heard it here first.